What's up, phonies? It's Crazy Pretzel here. I'm coming to you live. Just got off work. It's about 1:42 in the morning on June 7th of 2021. I'm back. Well, I never really went anywhere. I just haven't made any video content for a few months. Pro wrestling sucks nowadays. WWE is boring as hell. Raw is like horrible. Like, I haven't watched Raw in months, but I mean, just the reviews that I see, like, on YouTube and stuff, and from what you guys tell me, God, does it look like garbage. I mean, it's like this empty box of crackers here. Why the fuck do I still have that? It's garbage. So, okay, there's a few crackers in there, but, yeah, I'm not gonna eat them. That box was, like, from my couch from, like, a few months back, so, yeah. I'm not gonna take any chances on getting sick, just gonna get a new box. So, yeah, pro wrestling sucks. Gay EW is horrible. It's AEW, but, it's pretty gay. It's gay EW. I mean, there's no, like, manly men in there, fighting for women and, trying to show who number one is. You got just, Kenny Omega and Don Gallows. 69 me, Don! Like, yeah, I really want to watch that. Then they have different goofy storylines every week, and then there's nothing consistent, nothing makes sense. It's like purposely trying to put on a bad show and make a mockery out of pro wrestling, something that I myself have watched since I was 12 years old growing up, and they want to make a fucking mockery out of it. That's why I'm done with gay EW. Refuse to watch it anymore. So, if somebody really requests me to watch it, like I get a bunch of requests to watch it and tear it apart and whatnot, I mean, maybe I'll consider it, but me watching it for sheer entertainment, no, I'm not doing that no more. And WWE is also horrible. Like, Raw is horrible. SmackDown is boring. I don't watch NXT. Never really have. I'm not going to lie to you. Even though it was WWE ECW, I used to enjoy that show. When NXT, came along and canceled it, I never watched NXT because of that. I still have never, to this day, have watched an episode of NXT. Like I said, I kind of enjoyed ECW back in the day. It wasn't like a great, phenomenal show, but I mean, it was alright, It was alright, and then NXT comes along and ruins it, so. And then NXT would begin the downfall of WWE in general, so. Yeah, so I'm going to review a little NWA Powerrr. Like I said, NWA isn't exactly phenomenal wrestling, but at least it's something slightly somewhat old school that I can kind of enjoy a little bit. At least they're selling in this company, like selling moves. So, yeah. So, yeah. I'm going to do this little review real quick. This is like definitely, to quote the Wrestling Jesus, a late, out-of-date NWA Powerrr review. Still can't do it as good as he can, but this was from March 23rd or March 22nd. This was like episode 22. This was like the return episode from the pandemic or something, because they had to stop making shows because they couldn't have fans in there, and, all the pandemic bullshit in 2020 and whatnot. A lot of that's still going on. Things are starting to kind of open back up a little bit, but they're still just, I don't know, things need to go back to what they were. So this show, they didn't have any fans in the little building that they do it in, but there was some audio piped in. It wasn't as cringy as WWE used to do it, or they still do it in the Thunderdome. But I mean, not having the fans there, but hearing noises is kind of weird. I'm drinking this berry flavored green tea. I made a picture of it for Meyer. It's all right. It's unsweetened, but it's all right. I really don't taste anything berry about it, but it's not bad. So, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of weird. You hear crowd noises, but nobody's there. So it's kind of like you're watching a show, you're schizophrenic and having hallucinations and shit, or delusions or something, because you're hearing and seeing things that aren't fucking there. So that's kind of how it is being a pro wrestling fan, at least in NWA at the moment, at least as of this show, and WWE in the Thunderdome. We're a bunch of hallucinating fans, delusional fans watching wrestling, because there's nobody actually there, but we're hearing noises. So, alright, whatever. Let's go into this. This won't be a long video. So, the commentary team for this show was Velvet Sky, Tim Storm, and I forget the other main guy's name. what the hell's his name? I can't even think of his fucking name. Joe Galley. Yeah, I had to look at the results here. So I watched this show like a couple weeks ago, but I never reviewed it. I was gonna review it. So yeah, so Joe Galley's all right. He's just kind of like the play-by-play guy, like the intro guy that tells you what's going on and stuff and whatnot. So I mean, he's got his purpose. I don't really have any issues with him. Tim Storm is okay. I get it. It's the pro wrestler that's has the experience and blah blah blah. And then Velvet Sky, gorgeous, awesome to look at. But not to take anything away from these guys, but why not? I'm going to. This is a boring ass commentary team. Like, I hope that as I watch more episodes, it gets better. But for a return episode, this commentary team is boring as fuck. Like, Velvet Sky, like, talks and, like, you could barely hear what she says or whatnot, and she just sounds like a robot. Like, I hate to bash her because I love Velvet Sky. I loved her in TNA and whatnot. She had the character and a little bit of personality and whatnot, and she was hot as fuck. But, I mean, boring on commentary. Tim Storm, good guy commentator, whatever, is fine. But you have no bad guy commentator on this show. So it's basically, you got the guy, like the play-by-play guy who's telling what's going on in the ring, with a good guy commentator, with a boring, commentator that you can't hear. Where is the bad guy at to make this, like, interesting? If you're going to have a good guy, a commentator, pro wrestler, you need a bad guy one as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least when, pre-pandemic, when they had Wade Barrett, or, whatever the hell his name is, doing commentary, he was like, saying this idiot referee and just being a bit of a heel. It's like, that's good commentary. You need a good guy and a bad guy to clash with each other to have a good commentary. That's why it worked for Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, at least back in the day. Good guy commentator, bad guy commentator. Taz and Michael Cole. Taz was a bit of the bad guy commentator. Cole was the good guy commentator. This was back when Michael Cole was actually somewhat decent. He's god-awful now, but somewhat back then he was somewhat decent. Just a somewhat decent. Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan, another good guy, bad guy team. Great commentary. Jesse Ventura, Gorilla Monsoon, Jesse Ventura, Vince McMahon. Great commentary team. Good guy, bad guy commentary. This commentating team, boring as fuck. Alright, sorry I've been ranting on this for like 10 minutes, but yeah. So the opening match, there was some opening promo with Strictly Business. It was Nick Aldis, Tom Vladimir, and it was Camille, and they were talking about somebody. They said something about, like, wondering who's going to be a third man of the six-man tag team match tonight, which is in the main event or something. Apparently Trevor Murdoch got hospitalized by somebody. I don't really know. I don't care. That was the opening promo. It was very boring. Bleh. Then we had opening match was Camille versus Alex Gracia. I was going to say Garcia, but I think it was Gracia. This was a nice squash match for Camille. Dude, Camille is a babe, man. You know what I'm saying? She looks good. Got a nice little rack. Some nice long legs. Nice ass. Looks good. Not the best on the promo. Her voice is a little bit deep or something, but hey, she looks great, man. So, yeah, pretty much a nice little squash match. Camille, like, powerbombed, like, Gracia, like, 5 seconds into the match. I wish she'd have just would have pinned her and won with that. That would have been, like, super impressive. She beat her up for, like, about 5 minutes. She, like, won. She speared her, 1, 2, pulled her up, and then hit another spear, and then won the match. So, it was an alright squash match. I'm not going to give this any ratings, ranking points, or anything, but I liked it. It's nice to see a good old squash match. So, then we had, if you liked the Pope, there was a lot of the Pope on this show. He used to be D'Angelo Dinero in TNA, but just on, apparently in AEW. Oh, glad I'm not watching that. And in NWA, he's just the Pope. So, pardon me. That was completely wrong, and I hope the SJWs don't choke my frickin', like, throat out with that. So, yeah, so this was kind of weird. Pope's cutting a little interview or something with somebody, and then the guy points out, like, there's going to be a triple threat match, like, for his television title, because Pope's the television champion or something. So the camera cuts to 3 jobbers in the ring, and they're just standing there. Then it goes back to the Pope. What was the point of showing the jobbers in the ring or something? Like, they're just standing there basically waiting for this to be done so then they can have their match. Like, why wouldn't they come out, like, after this, like, interview was over with and whatnot? So, I don't know. They also talk about how if you win, like, 7 matches in a row with the television title, you can get a world title shot. So, I kind of like that rule. It's nice to see that. So, yeah, that was the promo. Then, during the television title #1 contender match or something, Pope did some commentary. He was alright. I'm kind of so-so with Pope. I don't love the guy, but I don't hate the guy or anything. He's alright, you know. I gotta see him more to kind of get into him more. I mean, I liked him when he was Elijah Burke in WWE, and he was alright in TNA, but yeah. So, the television title match was a 3-way match between these 3 jobbers, Fred Rosser, Matt Cross, and Marsh Rocket. Yeah. I don't know what's the word, credit's gonna skyrocket to the moon or something, or rocket to the moon. Should so be his thing. His character should be about how he's got great credit, and because it's so good, it rockets to the moon or something. I don't know. This was a boring 3-way matchup. I'm not gonna lie. I slightly know Matt Cross. I've seen him wrestle before, but the other 2 dudes, I don't know who the fuck they are. Fred Rosser won the matchup. Basically, I don't know if Fred Rosser... what the heck? Darren Young? I don't know if Fred Rosser is Darren Young, but it sure as hell kind of looks like him a little bit. And the finisher was Darren Young's finisher. So, yeah, that's a research question for me to do right now. Yeah, I'm going to research that. Fred Rosser. I'm going to do it right now. Because why the fuck not? Fred Rosser is American wrestler. Yep, it is Darren Young. Holy shit. I was like, it looks like Darren Young, and his finisher was the same, and he won. So, yeah, Fred Rosser is Darren Young. Okay, so we got one somewhat established wrestler in this match and 2 jobbers. Well, the established guy won. I thought it was kind of a boring match, but it was alright. So, the television title match in the future is going to be a WWE guy versus a WWE guy / TNA guy. Gotta love it. No new talents in this company that work. So, alright, next we've got Mike Powerrr versus Jordan Clearwater, whoever the fuck these 2 guys are. Mike Powerrr, I guess, is supposed to, like, be some kind of a monster or something like that. And he did do some okay, like, little power moves and stuff, but, like, I don't know. This guy doesn't look impressive. He looks out of shape. Like, he looks like me, and I am not in good shape. But the guy looks like me, like, has my physique and whatnot. His finisher was kind of cool. I don't know what Rikishi used to call his pile driver move that he used to do back in the day, but that was the move that this guy did to beat Jordan Clearwater. It was an alright little 5-minute match or whatever. I mean, Mike Powerrr's got some good moves and whatnot, but for him being like a monster character, I don't know. I have to see more of it to agree with it, but I mean, this was alright. I don't know. Thunder Rosa had an interview, and then Melina came out, and Melina wanted to manage her, and then Thunder Rosa said no, and whatnot, and then that was the end of that. It was alright. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was alright. Then we got our 6-man tag team matchup for the main event. It was Nick Aldis, the NWA champion, Tom Vladimir, and the guy formerly known as Chris Masters, the Masterpiece, Chris Adonis, and they fought Aaron Stevens, who used to be Damian Sandow in WWE, JR Kratos, whoever the fuck that is, and the Pope in a 6-man tag match. This was an alright 6-man tag match. I didn't really have any issue with it. I don't know who the fuck JR Kratos is or something, but it's like, apparently he used to be in a tag team with somebody, and then Aaron Stevens, he was tag team partners with the question mark, rest in peace, question mark. Sucks that he passed away, because like him and Stevens, even though they were joke characters or whatnot, was the reason to watch this show. They were fucking hilarious. They cracked me up. I get it, they weren't made to be taken seriously. They were joke characters, but it was legit funny. Like, it was stuff that made me legit laugh. So, but I don't know what the fuck they did. Like, they have Aaron Stevens and Kratos. Apparently, they're, like, I think they're tag team champions now, but they're just two guys that were, like, that had different partners that teamed up and won. But they have Aaron Stevens acting all serious now and not acting like his, hilarious, like, Mongrovian Karate third degree black belt champion or whatever, and just how, like, funny and entertaining it was. Now he's, like, all serious and it's boring as fuck. Like, I hate it. So, who won this match? Nick Aldis, Tom Latimer, and Chris Adonis won the match. Pretty much, like, I remember the finish was, like, Kratos brought in a chair and he wanted Aaron Stevens to use it on Chris Adonis. And then, Stevens didn't want to use it, so Adonis rolled him up and pinned him. So, well, like I said, it was an alright 6-man tag. I didn't have any issue with it. I just don't like the storyline of having Aaron Stevens turn to be a good guy when he was a great bad guy. I don't know who J.R. Kratos is. Like I said, there's a lot of guys on this roster I don't know. I need to see more of to get more of an opinion. But, yeah. So, overall, a 50-50 show, in my opinion. Could have been a lot better. It was still, I would still much rather watch this than Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? At least these guys sell in the ring. And at least they're trying to, like, somewhat establish people. Like, Mike Perry had a squash match. Camille had a squash match. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate them trying to, even though they're not, like, going to be, like, $1 million superstars or whatever, they're at least going to be characters that maybe we might get to know as I watch more episodes to catch up and whatnot. So that's something to slightly somewhat look forward to. So, yeah. All right, so this was Crazy Pretzel. I'm going to be reviewing shows. I'm gonna probably review NWA if I have to review something current, but I'm probably going to just do a lot of retro reviews. I might review some UFC, maybe a movie review or something. I don't know. I'm going to just do like a weekly video probably just to get back into it. There's a lot of drama with the wrestling juggernauts, and it sucks that the Facebook page is down and whatnot, but you know what? I'm back. I want to do some videos. It's a nice way to rant. There might be a top 10 sucks about my job in the future for a future video idea coming up. Nobody in my work's going to watch it anyway, so yeah. I'm not going to say any names in the video, but just like 10 things annoying about my job. Like a little preview of that. So there's this guy going home tomorrow at my work, and his boyfriend called my work and wanted me to call him back because apparently he wanted to get shaved or something. Like he wanted the guy that's going home to get shaved or whatnot. So I mean, I asked my aides to do that and stuff, which is fine. But it's like, I'm not calling this guy back to tell him that, oh, we shaved him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got enough fucking people to take care of that need meds and shit and assessments and all this other shit. Like, I'm not calling the guy back. You can come tomorrow and get him and see he got shaved. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just little annoying shit like that. So, anyway, that's the video. I hope you guys have a good week. I'll be back at some point. Maybe I might do another review later today. It's Monday. Monday night always used to be wrestling, so maybe I'll watch some wrestling. So, alright guys, have a good one. Peace.